It's Behind the Scenes with Andrew and Tim. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
It's just crazy reading some of this shit, and still people believing the anti-union bullshit too on the same breath. Like one of these articles, and I'll mention it in the episode. Welcome behind the scenes. It's fun, isn't it? It's
well,
extra
you know
content.
what?
Enjoy it.
The unions shouldn't be that black, Italian, and Jewish. That's what I have to say about it as a right-wing conservative.
Yeah. God, and that's what it seems like. It's all just based on like fear mongering, racism, it's another other, but for like the billionaire class to hate on, like
race to divide the working class, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Like they use race and sexism and the patriarchy to divide the working class. So they make us argue about culture wars of small differences between each other instead of talking about the fact that, we're all getting fucked.
Yeah.
Economically.
Basically. Like one of the comments I saw on one of the articles, it wasn't how did you get through the Washington Post article? I have, if anybody's watching, behind the overlay, wonderful thing to get past, overlays on articles, but you still should support journalism when you can. Just not the Washington Post. It's owned by Jeff Bezos. But how did you get past that? That's why I didn't put any notes in the thing from that other than Ford is going to strike. Like, do you have a subscription or what?
I mean,
did you find ways around?
I plead the fifth.
All right. Well, I said use behind the overlay. So, everything's good on my end.
I have access to a lot of things I shouldn't.
Oh, that's good. Well, love that. But yeah, no, one of the comments is like, for as far as UPS is concerned, like $20 an hour is enough to drive a truck and deliver packages. I'm like, and health benefits, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, they didn't have air conditioning. Yeah, that one was new to me. And
and I've even heard they've been made up to $41 an hour. But I'm telling you right now, to drive around for 9 to 12-hour shifts, lifting heavy packages,
potentially being attacked by dogs.
All those small things aside that probably add up, like any job that suck. But just driving around in fucking 110 degree heat without an air conditioner is like strain on your body. For that long, the number of videos I've seen of FedEx and UPS drivers passing out is more than 5, which isn't a lot, but it's more than I should have seen. But yeah, I think that, I don't know. The UPS strikers are they've already gotten 2 terms that they wanted to agree with. We'll talk about this here in the episode
but it's just,
which is they eliminated a class of lower class workers. So now all those workers have to be promoted up to the next class.
Oh, that's cool. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I was wondering what the hell that meant.
On the line where they distribute packages, instead of being this temporary part-time worker, everybody gets bumped up in hours and pay, essentially.
Which I can still see all of that still getting fucked somehow in Texas.
People under that title and that pay anymore.
Oh, okay. That's good.
You know what I mean? So they eliminate the position and then they take the workers that are currently there and bump them up to what the union said should be the base position of the job.
Yeah.
Right. Is essentially what's happening.
Yeah.
But they're and they got the air conditioning thing too.
Texas can't take that away, right? Because they already took away water breaks. Like we talked about before.
Hypothetically,
these trucks can't have air conditioning. What are you talking about? That's freedom of speech.
Absolutely, they could. They could say that they could pass a law saying no company must mandate that any trucks built or rented in Texas has to have air conditioning or something like that.
Jesus fucking Christ! Wow, that's
what I mean.
Stupid.
They could find a way to do it. It might get challenged and go to the courts, but it would go into effect for years.
God, anything else happen news wise? I don't think any. This has been another slow news week.
Donald Trump's about to get indicted again.
Yeah. This is two back-to-backs, right? That kind of threw me. One is the January 6th thing, and then the other is the Georgia thing, right? The voter fraud or not
no, I
voter
think
fraud,
it's just January 6th. I only think he has one that's come down the pike recently. The third.
Oh, okay. I know they subpoenaed or he's cooperating. He was, I guess, the Speaker of the House in Arizona. Who Trump tried to call and intimidate and stuff like that. So people seem to keep. I know nothing is going to happen to him. Rich guy jail, yada yada yada. It's just, it's so it boggles the mind that all of this can happen for indictments and all this shit. He might still be president. Like that's, sorry, that's bonkers.
I mean, what's insane is like Michigan just indicted 16 Republican GOP officials.
Did the electors
for doing fraud?
Do you remember that video of them trying to get in? I don't know if this is this the same people? Like,
with the state trooper.
We're the electors. Well, the electors are already inside. Well, we're the new ones. No, you're not.
You didn't get them all.
Oh,
you didn't get them all. They keep saying you didn't get them all. They keep saying that.
Yeah,
we're the other ones.
It just seems like a bunch of fucking confused old people just thinking well, we were told that we were this. I'm like, well, you're not. I'm like, well, what?
That's
did we
just
do?
your ageism. You just assume anytime people that are old act confused,
they were that old.
I'm not saying they're not old, Tim. I'm not arguing their age on the planet. I'm arguing the fact that you assume that when people are old and they're confused, they're not fucking faking it, which they definitely
fair
do
enough. All right.
all the time.
yeah. Fine.
Which I will do.
Reverse
I will
ageism.
probably do. Yeah. I will probably be like, what? I do that now.
Just play.
I'm like,
play dumb.
I'm like, I don't know what happened here.
I'm not supposed to be here. Like, no,
Yeah, exactly.
you're not. What's a felony? Oh,
Yeah.
God damn it.
What do you mean I'm not supposed to be in this random patch in Nevada? This is an Air Force secure base. And
I was told I could Naruto run all the way up to the base and free them aliens.
I was just having some Max Hard lemonade, and I strolled through the desert on a shaman quest, and I wound up here.
I can't read these signs that say "Do not pass." Area 51 ahead.
I am not literate. I cannot read signs.
For instance, this sign does not say.
I can only read the Bible. It's my religious right.
That's true. That is true. There's
only 2 books you need.
It's the only book reading. All worth reading. And it's like 66 books, so it's great. Not that Mormon one though. Get that shit out of here.
I mean, to our Mormon viewers, it's just as silly as everybody else.
It is. We don't like your Bible either. Yeah. It's a lot of none of them. The Jehovah's Witnesses. Jehovah's Witnesses don't celebrate holidays or birthdays, and that they also have their own terrible things going on within their church too. They don't let their
kids get medicated. I think
they're like the anti-vaxxer religion. Same with Christian Scientists. Is that the case?
I mean, I think we're taking a lot of leaps here. I'm sure that there's. We're making a lot of assumptions, even for the behind the scenes. I will say.
I mean, I was studying to be a pastor for a long time. I should know some of this.
You've definitely been more down the brainwash alley than me.
Yeah.
That's why we're both experts on QAnon. Is I have the logical, nerdy, conspiratorial thing.
The
evangelical side covered.
Dude, 10 years ago, I could have easily got swept up in that. I will say,
if QAnon comes through Dallas again, we should do a live, I'd be willing to fly down.
Do they go on tour like a band?
I mean, they have cons.
What? There's a QAcon?
Dude, the last one was in Dallas where they all met up.
Wait, is that the thing?
They stayed
Robert
here
F.
for
Kennedy
6
Jr.?
months rating for fucking
JFK Jr. was supposed to show up at Aerosmith or something like that, or Rolling Stones
in Dallas. Yeah. They stayed there for 6 months.
Oh my God. There's a bit in America the Podcast, which you all should listen to, where you meet John F. Kennedy Jr. Spoiler alert. But I told Alana about this and showed her the episode, my wife, and she's like, who is hold on, who's John F. Kennedy Jr.? I'm like, oh, cause she's not she's from England. He was super big here in the 90s. Everybody knew who he was. And she's like, oh, Kennedy's son.
What you do is just show her Kennedy's funeral, the entire thing.
Yeah,
as every immigrant should have to watch. Yeah. And then when the little kid's
seen that, that's the thing.
Yeah, she goes, that's him.
That's she would go, boy. That's him. And I said, no, he's the one that Jerry's girlfriend met with in Seinfeld and ends up having sex with in that. And she's like, oh, okay, I get it. And she was like, but why is he connected to QAnon? I'm like, oh, you don't know. And I explained to her the whole John F. Kennedy Jr. QAnon thing, that he's not secretly the president or whatever. He's not dead. I don't know. Who's president here? Is Donald Trump the vice president?
Donald Trump is president.
Okay, and he's the vice president in this situation? Okay.
And they're exposing the deep state.
Oh, man.
Catch up, Tim. Trust the plan.
I'm sorry. I don't go on Reddit anymore. But
buddy, Reddit is the fucking, you were a sweet summer child. Reddit is the top layer of the iceberg.
I know.
I have been to right-wing depths that you you would
do
forget that you would forget that light exists in the places that I've been to.
You've heard of the dark web. Well, how about the pitch black web?
Yeah, you lose your connection to your
the void
where you go. Yeah,
Welcome
you
to the
no
void.
longer
This
feel
is
the
where
light
QAnon
of God in places that I've been to like troll conservatives.
Oh yeah. No. Well, Alana did not understand it though. When I told her, she's like, "This still doesn't make sense. It's kind of funny now that I understand the joke, but." What the fuck? And I'm like, yeah, man. Robert F. Kennedy's so top of mind right now with that whole farting article you showed me, where he was spouting off anti-vaxxer bullshit, and
America.
then like, man, and now like of all people, Marianne Williamson's like against Robert Kennedy Jr., which I guess didn't make sense to me because she seems like someone who would be like his vice president, but like I guess not. I don't know. She's smarter than we give her credit for. So,
I mean, I'm definitely more of a Marianne stan than I am a RFK stan.
I should have corrected myself. I don't say she's not smart. Just like, you know, it's a lot of out there thinking.
Tim obviously is a misogynist that hates Marianne Williamson.
I do not hate Marianne Williamson.
Audience, let's just admit that right now.
I was I'm pro her. She's gonna end all wars, man.
Tim is a rampant defender of the patriarchy and a hater of crystal energy. And both those things are wrong.
I'm definitely not.
Crystal's
Mommy
on my
computer.
Is correct. Crystal Mommy is correct. And if she became president, we would all have like meditation Fridays.
We would. And you know what? Like you actually, I think it was I don't know if we did this on air in any of our episodes, but like talked about like, well, what if Marianne was the president?
Like, it's will get millions of people killed. Like,
yeah,
or be like a corporate stooge.
It would
like,
be some sort of racist anti-vaxxer stuff.
Williamson will like make it where half the burgers are vegan. And I'll be like, cool. Like,
yeah, that's fine.
Sounds good. I can eat an
No more wars. Whopper. Some vegan burgers, the Beyond Burgers, they're fine.
Fridays
just put a bunch of Worcestershire sauce on it.
Yeah, something like that. Like, I mean, like, there'll be like positive affirmation every morning with the president. And like, she'll like come on TV and she'll be like, hey, everybody, I hope your day's going all right. And even
just redoing the whole, what's his FDR
the president
thing?
orders you to have a better day.
Campfire talk or fireside chats. Yeah, do fireside meditation.
She can do morning TikToks and she'll just she'll just do a morning TikTok from the Oval Office and she'll like pull out the crystal of the day and like read my horoscope. This. And then she can just be like, the president orders you to have a good day. And I'll be like, well, I'm not going to argue.
I'm not going to argue that. Yeah. Now, like, you're really setting up like, well, maybe we should give her a chance. Like, we gave Trump a chance. Why not marry him?
Reagan and his wife had a con artist, like astrologist, like prophecy visionary in the White House.
They were hardcore Christians. What the fuck?
I don't know what to tell you, man. I don't fucking make the rules, but and I don't think Reagan was actually
no. But they came off that way, you know. God and country, Jesus.
They courted the evangelical vote more than anyone else
yeah.
for the first time in the Republican Party. Yes, I agree.
Oh my God.
But no. Reagan,
for the first time.
Reagan's wife especially had some sort of astrologer con woman that like came in and like gave them advice regularly.
Oh, word!
It's a cool thing. Check out.
I know, like
there's a whole few set of episodes on it.
Wow, but Lincoln did it too. They had his wife was super into seances and shit. He was too.
Yeah, but I don't think Lincoln. But Lincoln wasn't addled by Alzheimer's at the end of his term and letting his wife run the country.
Yeah.
So the person who was like talking
Wilson
to seance
kind of scenario.
Yeah. I mean, Nancy Reagan like pretty much ran the country.
Second female
for the
president.
Last few years. Yeah, he was counting jelly beans. You know.
Yeah, like, telling his daughter he's scared. Man, I hate Reagan, but that's a sad story. Like, you know, him not knowing where he is. Like
he deserved worse. Anyways,
he deserved worse. Yes, but it's just in general a sad story. Fuck yeah.
Yes, the election of Reagan, the decimation of the working class, the intentional genocide and ignoring the AIDS crisis, the setting up of conservatism, intervention in the Middle East, the Clinton Iran-Contra response to him, like the fact that 9/11 was under a president that directly reflected the Reagan administration. Yeah, all that is
we funded Al Qaeda under that administration.
It's a very sad. Oh, the war on drugs. All of this is because of Ronald Reagan. The crushing of unions, which we're going to talk about today. All of this is under Reagan's watch. So I mean, like, the story of Reagan is sad, like, for everyone involved, other than Reagan for about 30 years. He has a great time.
Sure. Yeah.
Him and Nancy have a great time for about 30 years, where they're movie stars and governors, and then the president and the first lady.
Well, then, so I guess before we start,
banks and oil barons, they had a great time. Yeah, like banks and oil barons had a good time. Like the lack of international copyright and trade law had a great time.
Fair enough.
You know, you know.
Well, then
the continued economic colonialism of Asia had a great time because of it. The oppression of South American legitimate leftist governments had a great time.
And only like in 8 years. That's what an accomplishment. You know what? Say what you want about Reagan. There's two things I can say: is he accomplished a lot, and then to quote Killer Mike, "I'm glad Reagan's dead." Let's start the show.
You've been listening to America the Conversation, a production of Shway Media and America the Podcast Presents. The show was created and is hosted by Tim Phillippe and Andrew Turner. The show's theme song is by Timmy Two Step, and all other music and sounds heard in this show were procured through the amazing companies listed in our show notes. America the Conversation is mixed and edited by Tim Phillippe at Shway Media Studios in Austin, Texas. For more information, please visit shwaymedia.com. Copyright 2023, all rights reserved.
This has been a production of Shway Media, all rights reserved. For more information, please visit shwaymedia.com.